Man, Joe, November 15th, 2014, great night here at the O. Man, it was cold outside, but the O Arena and the fans and the wrestlers, they were all red hot tonight.
That's right, PK. We had some amazing matches, and in those matches, some amazing moves that I've never seen before. The electricity was wild here in the Arena, PK.
Joe, I agree. Let's start off with the first match of the night. We had Medical Malpractice, Dr. Bad and Nurse Blueberry.
That's right.
Versus Adrian Phillips, the most improved wrestler of the year of 2014.
Oh, quit rubbing that in.
And
we all know it was Will Caution.
And hardworking Hollywood. Well, Joe, I think the fans of people that voted differ.
Yeah, well, who cares what they think?
Well, Joe, it was a really good match, but ultimately, hardworking Hollywood used his ditch digger on Nurse Blueberry, and then, of course, the most improved wrestler of the year, Adrian Phillips, then went to the top rope and came down with an elbow and pinned Nurse Blueberry for the win.
All right, yes, they get a victory. That's great. But you know what? We all know the most improved wrestler was Will Caution. I just want to leave that in there for the record.
Joe, who won the most improved wrestler this year?
Stop it, PK.
I want to hear you say it.
I'm not going to tell you. Okay, Phillips. Okay, let's go on.
All right, then we had Croatoan versus Keith Cage.
Yeah, Croatoan versus Keith Cage. It was great to see Croatoan out there going to town on Keith Cage, hitting him with his finishing maneuver, the conjure, and just wiping that little kid clean off the face of the mat.
Joe, it wasn't quite the clean victory that you're trying to spin to our fans and audience here.
What?
Basically, a member of the Fallen, which is like the group that comes out with Croatoan, came out onto the ring apron, distracted Keith Cage, who then got hit by the conjure. So in that part, you're right. And in another part, you're right. Croatoan did get the victory. And Joe, it makes you wonder if he's got his eye as well in the Generations Championship, because he beat the first one in our history, Keith Cage.
Yeah, well, who cares? The point is, Keith Cage, is his fault for getting distracted. That's a loser's limp, saying that he got distracted and it cost him the match. The point is, he got distracted, Keith Cage lost because of it, and he needs to learn from it.
Well, Joe, then we had Lane Cross, who actually won 2 awards. He was the breakout star of the year, and as well the best ring entrance music.
Now, there's a true wrestler who deserves his awards, PK. And I'll tell you something, that match was very physical. He went up against Jackson Carter. That was a physical match, back and forth, side to side, whatever you want to say. But it all came down to the final moves.
And Joe, I'll tell you something, you are right. You know, that's what it always comes down to, is the final move. So thank you for stating the obvious. Well, you know, Lane Cross did a coast to coast from one ring pillar to another ring pillar.
Dedicated to me, of course.
Basically knocking completely out Jackson Carter.
That's right.
And then he did his 450 splash and got the pin. I mean, Joe, it was a very physical match. I'm glad to see Jackson Carter back. He's a great wrestler.
Oh, I won't put anything past him. He's a great wrestler. It's just Lane Cross is just such a dominating wrestler, and he's so athletic, and it's great to see all that talent here in the Arena.
Well, Joe, it was definitely his night tonight. Well, then, Joe, then we had Will Caution come out, and he did something that I thought I would never see him do, which was basically he called out Goth Black.
And PK, you got to hand it to him, because no matter how good or how experienced you get, to call out Goth Black, you got to, I don't even know how to describe it, you got to have guts. More guts than you weigh.
Well, Joe, it's like you said, you know, in the past you'll see wrestlers come in and they'll see their name next to Goth Black and they kind of roll their eyes and they get a little shaky.
Oh, yeah.
So to see Will Caution call him out was very surprising. And Joe, it was a great match. We saw moves in that match we had never seen before.
Oh, absolutely.
Goth Black did a DDT from the middle rope. And then as well, he also did a double underhook spinning pile driver on Will Caution. But Joe, the real thing is, we can't dismiss what Will Caution did. Will Caution actually went after submission maneuvers on Goth Black, and with Goth Black's MMA background, that was pretty gutsy for him to do.
Absolutely.
And I also saw something I'd never seen before. Goth Black actually shook the hand of Will Caution at the end of the match.
Yeah.
And basically kind of gave him like the, hey man, you're coming a long way, kid.
I tell you something, people, let me tell you something. It is hard to describe how amazing and devastating that match was, those moves were. You're going to have to see it for yourself, because I saw moves in there. I've been watching wrestling since 1986. I've never seen before. And when I saw those moves take place and Goth Black laid on Will Caution, I, like everybody else, was totally shocked.
Yeah, I was very impressed. Well, then we have Rod Bolt and Kit Bryson versus the tag team specialists, who are the tag team of the year for 2014. And Joe, it was really interesting. They came out, and what happened was Jake Hughes was going to cash in his golden ticket to get to give them the tag team shot, and McFly stopped him. Said, "No, man, you need to use that for your ultimate title shot." And I thought that was pretty classy.
Yeah, classy. I call it a love fest, and let me tell you something. Yeah, it made me weep. It made me cry like I watched some sort of after-school special. The point is, it doesn't matter. They already got their tag match. They already got their tag title shot.
Joe, I didn't realize that after school special would actually be the one thing that would make you cry.
Oh, well, anyway, shut up, PK.
But Joe, it was a really great match, but I'll tell you something. Ultimately, Jake Hughes did a gorilla press on Rod Bolt, and then McFly took him and hit him with the flux capacitor for the win.
Absolutely, PK. You know, I got to hand it to tag team specialists. They're pretty good. I mean, they're no Dominion, but they're all right.
Okay. Well,
tag team of the year.
Pretty good. Okay.
Yeah, I'll hand it to them.
That's just like saying, a Ferrari is a decent sedan. Anyways.
Compared to the superior cars I drive, yeah.
Well, compared to your Pinto, I agree. Then we had Alex Diamond Decker versus the Highlander, Johnny Walker, who won the award that you wanted to win, Joe. Best bald head of the year.
I don't want to win that award, PK. I am bald by choice. You know, if I grew this hair out, I would look like Simon LeBeau from Duran Duran. I would look like Flock of Seagulls. I would look like anybody's dream for hair.
Joe, I have seen thicker hair on tarantulas.
Shut up, PK. You don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it was a really good match, but what was funny was he tried to hit Johnny Walker with a chain around his fist, but he missed. Johnny Walker, the Highlander, hits him with the Haggis hanger, gets the win, and retains his corporate championship.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. Besides, I don't think it was a chain he was handing him. I think he was trying to hand him some rosary beads or something. I mean, I hear that Alex Diamond Decker is a very faithful man.
Well, Joe, we're going to move on to the next match. What was really interesting was you and I had the opportunity to actually get in the ring and not wrestle, which I'm sure our fans would like to see. But you and I had the chance.
They would like to see me win. That's great. Yeah.
Sure they wouldn't. Well, but it was really good. We got to announce the two awards, which were the most loved wrestler and the biggest meanie.
Oh,
wrestler.
Biggest meanie. What is that? That's like preschool. Biggest meanie. Let me tell you something. It's what my version is the man with the most backbone, the man who could stand up to the masses, the man who does what's right instead of what the crowd wants him to do. That award with the Zach Daniels.
Goes to the most loved, who was Chad Silva.
Oh, stop it, PK. You know Zach Daniels. He was a great leader, and it's too bad he's no longer our commissioner.
Well, Joe's real interesting was, they both win these awards. Both these guys come into the ring, and it was interesting because he and Chad Silva and Zach Daniels actually kind of make some peace together.
Yeah.
Well, then all of a sudden the Dominion comes out, and so all of a sudden now we've got a tag team match. Now then ultimately, of course, the Dominion did maintain their titles.
Absolutely.
They did. They hit the purge on Zach Daniels for the win. But I'll tell you something, they had to fight hard for that victory.
Absolutely. I'll tell you something, you got to be impressed by the chemistry that Zach Daniels and Chad Silva had. I mean, for two people who have clashed in so many ways, from style to personalities to even with one another, it was great to see that chemistry. And it just shows what great of a wrestler Zach Daniels is.
Well, anyways, folks, our next show is on November 29th, and that's going to be our Dollar Mania. All seats are $1, and those usually have a theme, so if you want to come and enjoy yourself, it's always a good time. Our next O show is December 6th, where Jimmy Lee will be defending his Generations title versus Cody Fairview. And then, of course, on November 21st, we have a very special occasion. There is a pro wrestling event. It's a charity fundraiser for Caring Hands Ministry Community Christmas Dinner. It's in White County, and it's Friday, November 21st at 7:30 p.m. It's in Sati Nakuchi, Center Gym at 283 Highway 255. It'll be a really good time. We're going to be there. There's going to be some wrestling, but most importantly, this is a charity. No. Most importantly, this is a charity that is benefiting families in need for this Christmas season. We hope all our fans are there. We look forward to seeing you all again at the next of the O Show when we get to do this recap. We appreciate our fan support, and we appreciate the time that you all give us every 2 weeks.
Right you are, PK. We will see you next time.
Have a good night.